This is the video solution for Div 1 question 1, the marathon. So in the question we have Chacha and Chachi who have decided to run. So according to the given condition, Chacha will run for y meters per second. That is the speed of running of Chacha is y meters per second. And Chacha runs with this speed for x seconds. And after running for x seconds, he takes a rest for z seconds and then again continues to run for x seconds with a speed of y meter per second. Same with Chachi. Chachi runs with a speed of L meters per second for k seconds and then takes rest for n seconds. So the question here is we have given s seconds, that is s is the total time required or considered, or we can consider it as the time instance at which we need to calculate who has covered more distance. Now it is given that they start running simultaneously. Now we have asked that who is ahead, Chacha or Chachi, that is who has covered more distance at time equal to s seconds. So the input format is given as X, Y, Z, K, L, M, S, where X is the time for which Chacha runs, Y is the speed of Chacha, Z is the rest time for Chacha, similar with Chachi, and S is the time instance that is at which we need to calculate the distance of Chacha and Chachi to consider who is ahead. So the constraints are all the inputs are integers from 1 to 100, including 1 and 100, and we need to calculate who is ahead, and the one who is ahead is to be printed. If Chacha is ahead, print Chacha, else Chachi, and if they have covered both same distance, then print draw. So let's consider the first input case. Now here the input is given as x, y, z, k, l, m, and s. So here you can consider x is the time for which Chacha will run. 3. This 3 is the speed with which Chacha will run, and this 3 is the time for which Chacha takes rest after running. Similarly here, 6 is the that is k equal to 6, that is 6 is the time for which Chachi runs, 2 is the speed with which she runs, and 5 is the rest time of Chachi, and 10 is the time instance at which we need to calculate who has covered more distance. The output is Chacha. Let's see how. So during the first 10 seconds, they start to run. So they have started running simultaneously according to the given question. So now considering Chacha, initially, Chacha will run for 4 seconds as given input, 4 seconds with a speed of 3 meter per second. So after running for 4 seconds, Chacha will take rest for another 3 seconds as given in the input. So we have here 4 plus 3, which is equal to 7. But we need to calculate the distance at t equal to 10 seconds. So we need to consider more 3 seconds. Now, according to the given question, after taking a 3 seconds rest, Chacha will run again for 4 seconds. But as we are concerned with time equal to 10 seconds, we will only consider the remaining time, that is only 3 seconds. So here we have Chacha starts running for 4 seconds with a speed of 3 meter per second, then takes a rest of 3 seconds, and then again walks for 3 seconds. So, in this total time of 10 seconds, Chacha runs only for these 4 seconds plus these 3 seconds. So, the total time for which Chacha is running is 7 seconds, and the speed with which Chacha runs is 3 seconds. So, sorry, 3 meter per second. So we have here 7 into 3, which is 21 meters. So the total distance covered till time equal to 10 seconds is 21 meters by Chacha. Similarly, here we have 6 seconds where Chachi runs with a speed of 2 meter per second and then takes the rest of 5 seconds. But as we are considered only till 10 seconds. So we are considering only 4 seconds. So the time for which Chachi runs is only 6 seconds. So we have the total distance as 6 into 2, which is equal to 12. So here it is evident that 21 is greater than 12. So Chacha is way much ahead than Chachi. So we have printed Chacha here. So similarly, you have an example where Chachi wins, and also an example where the case is draw. Here you can obviously see from the input that everyone both have the same speed and everything same. So it's a draw. So now this was the approach that we need to follow. Now let's see the code. So we have included the necessary library. Now, this is the convention that is given by the question. So, for Chacha, Y is the speed, X is the time for which Chacha runs, and Z is the rest time of Chacha. Similarly, Chachi runs with the speed of L meter per second, runs for K seconds, and rests for N seconds. S is the total time passed or the time instance that we need to calculate, and we are considering distance chacha as a variable which will calculate distance traveled by chacha, and similar with distance chachi. So initializing the required variables, okay, so taking the respective input as given in the question, x, y, z, k, l, m, s, according to following these conventions. So here we have simple formula, as we know, distance equal to speed into time. So for calculating distance, we need to calculate the speed which is already given and the time for which Chacha or Chachi is running. So we don't need to consider the time for which Chacha or Chachi is taking rest. So we can consider here that Chacha runs for X seconds, then take rest for Z seconds, then again runs for time X seconds, then again takes rest for Z seconds. So we can consider X plus Z as a time cycle of Chacha and K plus M as time cycle for Chachi, where we know within one time cycle of Chacha, Chacha runs only for X seconds, and within a time cycle for Chachi, Chachi runs only for K seconds. So let's move forward. Now the total time here is S, and X plus Z is the time cycle for Chacha. So now here we need to calculate the extra time left after the time cycles are completed. For example, the total time cycle is 10, and we have X equal to 2 and Z equal to 2. So one time cycle consists of 4 seconds. Now the total time is 10 seconds. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Now the leftover time, that is the 2 seconds that we are considering here to check if the extra time left over is less than x or greater than x. Because we are considering x here because we are concerned only with x, because Chacha runs only for x seconds. So if the time that is left over is less than x, we need to consider only that amount of time which is left over for calculating distance. Whereas if the time that is left over is greater than x, then we need to, greater than or equal to x, then we need to consider only x, or because uh, we need to consider only the time x, because even if the time is greater than x, the extra time greater than x will be for rest, where Chacha will not run. So we will consider only x seconds in this case, the extra time as x seconds. So here we have distance equal to speed into time. So distance for Chacha is y seconds, y meter per second. So y into the total time for which Chacha is running. So here we have s divided by x plus z, that is the total time upon the time cycle. So we have here number of cycles, number of time cycles that Chacha needs to cover till time equal to s. So this is the number of time cycles into we have here x, that is the time for which Chacha is running. And here we need to calculate the extra leftover time after the completion of complete time cycles. So here, as we know that the leftover time is less than x, we need to consider only that much part which is left over. So we have here s, the remainder obtained after dividing s by one time cycle. But in the case where the extra leftover time is greater than equal to x, we need to consider only x. So everything is same, the speed into time. So this is same, the number of time cycles into time for which Chacha is running plus x. So this is how we have calculated distance traveled by Chacha within s seconds. So similar formula or similar approach we have for Chachi. So yeah, so we have obtained distance of Chacha and distance of Chachi. Now just simply we have compared it. So if distance of Chacha is greater than distance of Chachi, we have printed Chacha. If it's same, we have printed draw according to the given question. And if distance of Chacha is less than Chachi, then we have printed Chachi. So this was the approach for this question. Let's try to run the code. Yeah, so you can see all test cases are submitted successfully. Yeah, let's submit the code. Okay, code submitted. Yeah, you can find here all test cases are passed. So this was the solution. Thank you.